welcome Minder fans. I'm Mike and this is the Winchester Club, Series 1, Episode 4, A Tethered Go. I'm in the back of the taxi here, ready to walk you through this episode and also show you all the locations in London it was filmed and tell you about the actors that appear in it as well. As well as that, I'll show you some extra surprises. Yes, extra surprises. The episode starts here with Terry teaching some youngsters boxing, and it was filmed here at the Harrow Club, West 10. Why is it called the Harrow Club, I hear you ask, when it's nowhere near Harrow and it's not even near the Harrow Road? Well, it's because it was founded and funded by ex-pupils and a former headmaster of Harrow, the famous elite public school in northwest London. The next scene sees Arthur pull up just here by this telegraph pole, and George Lewis, played by Johnny Shannon, pulls up just in front of him. And this is how it is today, with the telegraph pole still there, and you can clearly see the railway line in the background. Arthur and George then walk into the Harrow Club, as you can see, up that slope. And this is how it looks today. As Arthur and George walk up the slope, just notice the wall on the right hand side. That wall is still there today. Inside, George has a proposal for Arthur about Terry.
Don't mind subletting him. Is that right?
Depends on the price, George. And the job. Nothing dodgy.
Well, I'll put you onto something not strictly kosher. Oh, come on.
Dad, can I?
Look, shut it, Anthea.
What's the score then?
There's a couple of punters use my place in South Kent. They need a bit of muscle. Now, the money's good. Can I make them meet?
Why not? Make him have it, Terry.
So let's look at Johnny Shannon, who plays George. He came to TV acting quite late, at 37, when he got a part in the ITV drama The Gold Robbers, which starred many Minder faces, including George Cole. From there, he went to the 1970 film The Entertainer, starring Mick Jagger. He followed that up with an appearance in Fawlty Towers in the episode Communication Problems. Johnny was in Minder 3 times. He was in this episode, he was in Second Hand Pose as Roly Poly Peter, and as Tony Benson in Days of Fines and Closures. Johnny passed away in 2017, aged 84. So what else was filmed in Preston Road? In February 1987, something worldwide and iconic was filmed here. Also filmed here in 1978 was the film Quadrophenia. This is the Bramley Arms. Minder was filmed here in 1986 for the episode Around the Corner, which was tasty in the videos, and Terry pulls up just in front of it. Also in front of it, back in 1978, was where Gary Shell's character Spider got beat up by the Rockers in Quadrophenia. Two of the Rockers, of course, were Gary Holton and Ray Winston, our Arnie. As you can see in this photo, Phil Daniels has pulled up and you can see the railway bridge behind him. When Minder and Quadrophenia were filmed here in Preston Road, this actual area was independent of the UK, or had claimed independence from the UK. The reason for it was that the GLC thought there was no one here, so weren't collecting any rent, so we're going to bulldoze the place. What they found was that there was about 500 people living here who were squatting. They grouped together and created the Republic of Frestonia. They had some high-profile supporters such as Joe Strummer and The Clash, who came to Frestonia and played one of their albums. Also, Aztec Camera named one of their albums, Frestonia, after them. Foreign Minister for Frestonia was David Rappaport, the actor, who appeared in Time Bandits and LA Law. It was eventually sold by the GLC, offering them proper housing controls and a residents' association. And it went to a vote. It wasn't a harmonious vote, and a lot of people moved afterwards, claiming that the others had sold out. This is where Arthur lives, in Fitzjames Avenue. Now we know this because it was in episode 2 where he hid Stubbs. But this is where he meets Elliot and Sardi, to hear from them what the job actually is. As you can see behind Arthur, the window is curved. Now you can see that up there. Also up there you can see the grate, and you can see the grate behind Arthur when he's sitting down. Now let's take a look at Michael Sheard, who plays Elliot in this episode. And he's best known to most of us for playing Mr. Bronson in Grange Hill. In the 70s, he specialised in playing high-ranking Nazis. He played Himmler twice, but was more well known for playing Adolf Hitler. He played him 7 times. Most famously, he played him in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where Indiana gives him the book with the location of the Holy Grail. Luckily, Hitler just signs it and walks on. Indiana Jones wasn't the only blockbuster franchise that he acted in. He was also Admiral Ozzel in The Empire Strikes Back. As in episode 2, the Bricklayer's Arms is used for most of the drinking pub shots. This was because the Winchester Club, or as it was known in real life, the Eton Club, was not available. And this is how it is today. Notice the pub has been replaced by these flats, but the 2 buildings on the end are still the same. And this is where Arthur tells Terry about the job and where to meet Elliot.
So where'd you hear about this?
George Lewis down the youth club, picking up his kid. Saw you boxing, reckoned he'd get you a job for a couple of days.
Who's George Lewis when he's at home?
He owns an escort agency. A club in South Kent. You know, discotheque and supper. A couple of tables upstairs, some girls.
What, is it all hoorays and Arabs?
I've arranged an interview for you.
An interview? What's he want, a mind or a bleeding brain surgeon?
Here you are, 2 o'clock at that address.
Yeah, all right. Bit dodgy, though, isn't it? And wouldn't you think they could hire some proper muscle?
Or maybe they don't know their way around.
Yeah, but maybe they do.
Arthur sets up a meeting for Terry with Elliot at the Royal Lancaster Hotel, and this is how it looks today. The pathway is still there, but is now circular because they've moved the front door to the corner rather than the side. You also see this high-rise shot in Minder. Terry then meets Elliot.
Yes? I'm Terry McCann. I believe Mr. Daly had a word with you about me.
Have you been inside?
Look, just tell me what the job is, eh? It might be too high class for...
It's for a colleague.
Ah.
A Mr. Sain. He'll be here for 3 or 4 days. The car's a Rolls-Royce, and what we're looking for is a driver cum minder for Mr. Sain. Any questions so far?
Well, yeah. Let's get it straight. Is anybody liable to have a go at this Mr. Sayin?
Good Lord, no. You can look forward to a nice, easy 3 days.
Also filmed at the Royal Lancaster in 1968 was The Italian Job, starring Michael Caine as Charlie Croker. This is where Charlie comes for his coming out of prison present from his girlfriend. Also in scenes shot here at the hotel were Valerie Leon and John Clive, who both went on to appear in multiple Carry On films. This is 198 Sussex Gardens. It's in the shadow of the Royal Lancaster Hotel. And this is where Eutha Joyce lived in her final days. Eutha was, of course, married to Glyn Edwards, who played Dave in Minder very early on in their careers. Eutha's last TV appearance was on the Max Bygrave show, but was caught by Kenneth Williams, who later wrote in his diary that she looked as though she was crying. As she got up and left the set, one had the feeling she never intended to return. Eutha died just days later. He did, of course, mention Eutha Joyce again in his diaries, but this time 2 days before his own death on the 9th of April 1988. He mentioned that there was a break in her voice when she got to the line, "Tomorrow may never come." He followed it up by saying, "She was a lady who made so many people happy and a lady who never complained." And believe you me, that is high praise from Kenneth Williams. In Elliot's Rolls Royce, Arthur and Terry then go to pick up Mr. Sayin at the airport. Arthur then makes his intentions known to Terry. As if Terry didn't know, it was that Arthur was going to get as much money out of this as possible.
But what are you going to say to this geezer anyway? He's got a very busy programme.
Look, he's a banker, right? When did a British businessman, e.g. me, allow an Arab banker to walk in and out of his life without relieving him of the odd 100 Gs?
Here is a view of the airport. This airport sequence was the Renaissance Hotel on the Bath Road, the back of which backs onto the Northern Perimeter Road with the runway the other side. I tried to visit this hotel 3 times, but it seems harder to get into than Fort Knox, so unfortunately a picture will have to suffice. So let's take a look at Lee Montague. Lee Montague holds the record for the longest gap between 2 appearances in Minder. He was in this episode, A Tethered Goat, and then 70 episodes later was in an episode called The Odds Couple, where he played Lewis Nelson. Lee has another remarkable first as well. He was the first ever person in 1965 to read a story on the BBC TV programme Jackanory. In the 70s, Lee appeared in The Sweeney as Collie Kibber, who was in prison and was planning an armed robbery with his cellmate Titus, played by Ronald Fraser, who also appeared in Minder twice later. But his lengthy break came in the boxing comedy starring Robert Lindsay, Seconds Out, for the BBC, which lasted 2 series. Lee, for over 60 years, was married to Ruth Goring, who also appeared in Minder in Series 4, in the episode Windows. She plays Helena Mancini. Unfortunately, Lee died in 2025 at the ripe old age of 97. This is Ladbroke Terrace. This is where Elliot provides the houses, yes, houses, plural, for Sayin to stay in with Terry minding him. I say Elliot provided 2 houses. He didn't. He provided 1 house. But Euston Films used 2 houses. In this still, you can clearly see that when Jenny Lee Wright, who plays Frankie, leaves the house, you can see that the set of stairs behind her is all 1 flight. Yet in this still, with the terrorist escaping, magically 2 flights of stairs appear. And this is how the 2 houses look today. Arthur then installs Di as the chef.
Steady, boyo! This isn't an adventure playground. What the hell are you doing here? A bleeding manservant, isn't it? Arthur hired us.
Which then produces a great line for Lee Montague.
Also, I am not a sheikh. Neither am I an effendi or a sire. I am Bassam Sayin, Sir or Mr. Sayin, to my staff. Understood?
Luggage from car, bath filled with water neat. Grey whistle, white shirt, red silk tie.
Soup, hardtack, and the desk in this room. No Oriental titles, just Mr. or Sir. Got it, sir. Your wish is my command.
Where in the name of Allah did he come from?
Must be the agency.
Kenneth Griffith plays the brilliant Dyer Llewellyn in this episode. Early on, he had a part in armchair cinema, which got him used to Euston Films' way of working. He then went on to appear in such films as The Sea Wolves. He was in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, but where I most know him from is The Wild Geese, where he played Arthur Whitty, which is not a dissimilar character from what he played here in Minder. Kenneth Griffith sadly died at the age of 84 in 2006. Arthur is then seen going into Frankie's sauna in the King's Road, and this is how it looks today. Just 500 yards from where Arthur enters the sauna is this shop. It's Vivian Westwood's shop on the King's Road, which back in the 70s she ran with Malcolm McLaren, her partner, and it was called Sex. In 1975, when Malcolm came back to the UK from the US after disastrously managing the New York Dolls, he took on a local band called the Swankers. That band, of course, went on to be the Sex Pistols, incorporating the name of the shop Sex in the title. The Sex Pistols disbanded in 1978. Harry is starting to suspect that something might be wrong.
Can I have a word, please?
Of course. What can I do for you?
Something you said in the car. You asked me if I was carrying a gun.
Oh, nothing.
Is there something I ought to know, Mr. Sine?
No, nothing at all. I have some delicate negotiations going on back in my country. I'm sorry if I seem preoccupied.
Yeah, well, give me the simple life every time.
You know politics. What was it Byron said?
Politics? I thought you were in banking.
Yeah, and commodities. You know, you can't be a politician in my country without one of two things.
And what are they?
$100 million or a private army.
Elliot and Sardi come to the airport to meet the terrorists off their plane, who are going to do the job on Syene.
Does this Terry McCann know what he's doing?
Let's say he's fairly competent.
Good. It is important that Syene is provided with a respectable bodyguard.
Have you heard from Beirut?
Yes, everything is fine. We can go ahead with our business.
Back at the house, Arthur is setting up Frankie to be Syene's entertainment.
Now, love, remember what I told you?
Are you sure he's good for a century?
Of course. Look, leave the finance to Arthur. I just want to sweeten him up for my little proposition.
All right, Arthur. Things I do for you.
That's a spirit.
Arthur then shows off his extended art knowledge.
Boudin, one of my favourites. But if pressed, I'd have to admit a preference for cannelloni.
Canaletto, surely.
Indeed.
What can I do for you, Mr.
Daly, Arthur Daly. I understand you're in banking. I have private business interests, capital very much in a spoken-for situation, so to speak. A opportunity to make 4.5 millions.
Oh, I am very pleased for you. And?
And I am prepared to offer a businessman of impeccable credentials, such as yourself, the opportunity to make a small investment, say £150,000.
Yeah, I have not that kind of money. Pleasure to meet you, Mr.
Daly.
Goodbye.
Perhaps some of your colleagues.
We are not in the investment business. Thank you for a generous offer.
Well, at least we've made contact.
Indeed.
I'll just leave you my card.
You are too kind.
Day on.
After meeting Arthur, Syene wonders where his life went wrong.
You know, Terry, I have been to London before.
Yeah?
I stayed in the Dorchester Hotel, private suite. 3 bodyguards, all armed. My first guest was the permanent secretary at the Foreign Office. What's gone wrong?
Terry then discovers Arthur's entertainment plan.
Di? You all right?
Oh, sorry, boy. Just getting the Sheik's recreation sorted out a bit.
Oh, what? Hold on. Blinking heck.
Oh, hi, Terry.
Oh, look, don't get the wrong idea, boyo, no. This is for Franke's nerves. You know how it is.
Nerves? What's going on?
Now, a standard drill for your Arab, isn't it? Come this time of day, they like to slip into something casual like. He'd think that we were not on the ball if we hadn't spirited a little Turkish delight into his boudoir, see?
All right, whose idea was this, eh? You, get dressed. Come
Here.
on. Come on. Arthur's, right?
Well, he said he'd be good for a ton.
Now, listen, Di, something's up, so lay off the gargle.
Up? What?
Well, I don't know, but something's wrong. I can feel it.
Bother, boyo?
Yeah, maybe. In the meantime, you get her to the kitchen and spirit her out when the coast is clear. Got it? Bloody Arthur.
Elliot, Sardi and the terrorists then arrive back at the embassy. Hyde Park Square is where they film the embassy scenes, so the exterior shots of Elliot and Sardi coming and going. I have tried to see what is on that plaque outside the embassy but can't manage it, but I did take a look at the flag that was above the door. As you'd expect, that is not a country's flag. The nearest flag I could find to it was an inverted Texas flag with a green stripe added. The Omani flag is quite close, but not with a star. So thanks for listening to this episode of Fun with Flags. Nadim Sawala plays Sardi in this episode. Nadim is Jordanian and was very much the go-to Arab actor for any roles that came up in the 70s that needed diplomats, terrorists, princes or sheikhs. In the 70s alone, he was a terrorist in Armchair Cinema, was in the Sweeney series and film, and was an Arab interpreter in the film version of Are You Being Served? Later, he would go on to be in 2 James Bond films and the ill-fated Dustin Hoffman film Ishtar. The Sawala name carried on in the acting world through Nadim's 2 daughters. His youngest daughter Julia was Safi in Absolutely Fabulous and was also in Jonathan Creek. His eldest daughter Nadia was in EastEnders and is currently on the ITV women's panel show Loose Women. Terry rings Arthur to tell him about the impending danger.
Arthur? Yes, Terry. No, everything is not all right, mate. Listen, this bloke saying is into something really heavy.
Come on, Terry, don't let's get paranoid.
Look, the last time he came to London, he had 3 armed bodyguards. Now, nice old bankers don't go around mob-handed.
You, reckon there's, danger?
I reckon. As you might say, Arthur, that he's been lured here from Beirut.
Well, for what purpose?
For the purpose of topping.
Hello, you there, Terry? Get out now, right away, and bring Di with you.
Well, maybe I'm imagining it.
And maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. Look, I'll phone Elliot and tell him he's got to replace you. I'll tell him I need you for another job. And listen, Terry, if there's any aggro, bug out, right?
If it comes down to shooters, I'm off.
Good boy. I'll ring you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot, Arthur. You're a prince.
Guy presents the entertainment to Cyan's disgust.
Servant, anticipate. anticipates the needs of his master.
Very well. Get on with it.
No, please! This is unbearable! Bloody Arthur!
The terrorists attack and Di springs into action.
Help! Terry! Shooters! Oh my God! They're trying to get back in! Help! Terry!
Oh, Terry boy. Oh, running off, are we? Come and stand and fight like men.
In this scene, the terrorists have failed in their attempt to kill Mr. Sain and are making their escape via Elliot in the car. But Frankie sees them and immediately goes to bell Arthur. There's also a very famous rock star who lives in this road. But if I was to tell you who it was, you would have to hit me over the head with a sledgehammer.
That's right, Arthur. Shooters and everything. There's white tapes across the road.
Frankie sees the terrorists and then runs to the phone box to ring Arthur to let him know the bad news. This is where the phone box was, just by that black box. As you can see, the building behind it is exactly the same, minus the black pipe. So let's take a look at Jenny Lee Wright. Jenny Lee Wright was a familiar face on our TV screens in the 70s. She was the sexy stooge on the Benny Hill show and had numerous appearances on the Dick Emery show, Morecambe and Wise and 321. A major feather in Jenny's cap was when she was asked to replace Anthea Redfern, Bruce Forsyth's wife, on the Generation game when she left to go on maternity. After playing Frankie in this episode, she concentrated on being more of a Foley artist. A Foley artist is someone who does sound effects through rhythm and body movement and dance. Jenny is still with us and going strong at 79. At this point, Elliot tracks Arthur down to the car lot, but we're going to do the car lot later on when we have more time to commit to it. Elliot offers Arthur a deal.
You £40,000 to have our client returned safely?
Come into my office, Mr. Elliot.
Terry, Di and Sain go to the safe house above the pub. In the episode, Terry is seen at this window. I still keep hoping that he's going to reappear today. Elliot then fools Arthur into giving him the address where Sain is hiding out.
I'll get a motor over to you. Give us the address again. Yeah, right, got it. Take care, Terry. See you.
Thanks, chum. Now, why don't you just drive on over there?
You're not a nice man, Mr. Elliot. Not nice at all.
Terry then realises what Elliot and Sardi's game was from the beginning.
Us up, using Di and me as stooges. Right, now what I want to know from you, Sunshine, is who I'm dealing with and why. Also, other little incidentals like how many, and are they or not coppers or something?
They are not policemen. I entered this country on a false passport.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sardi, meanwhile, wants answers from Elliot.
What are we paying you for?
You wouldn't say that if you'd been there.
I thought the bodyguard was going to be a walkover.
Apparently, we were wrong.
Oh, no, my friend. You were wrong.
Elliot and Sardi sit staking out the pub, just by this wall and fence. And this is the view today. Arthur at gunpoint pulls up just here, and he beckons Terry over. This today is the door that Terry left from, and also the door that later Sain and Di leave from. Terry quickly spots the police van opportunity.
All clear, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah. Bags of room.
Right then.
Oh dear, Arthur, you've hit a police bus.
This is where the crash happens, and it's the same spot that Rycott and Chisholm crash into each other in Around the Corner. Elliot and Sardi are watching from this doorway. And this is how it looks today. Terry tips off the local gendarmerie.
Listen, we got trouble. For God's sake, don't look round. There are shooters all over the place. 2 on the pavement, 1 in the back of the van. They're Arab terrorists. Can you handle it?
Right, sir. Name?
Mission 2.
Blue shirt near the pub door and a geezer with a sling by the railings.
Yeah, okay.
Under the cover of the police, Di and Sain are beckoned over to the van.
Di! Di, over here. Come on, bring your mate. Come on. There's nothing to worry about, just a slight itch.
The police then pounce.
Right.
Get out! Get out!
Terry sees Sardi run. Elliot meanwhile runs down this alleyway. And this is it today. Terry chases Sardi down Penzance Place. And this is it today. You can still see the same blue building behind. Sardi then runs into this adventure playground. If you notice, there's a block of flats behind. And this is how it looks today. Just to the left here is the block of flats where Arthur loses Eric, the SAS man, in episode 2. The chase is on, but it's only a matter of time before Terry catches him. Terry catches him and hands out a bit of myelin wallop.
I reckon you find he's got a bit of diplomatic immunity, though.
Is he badly hurt?
No, just a touch of the older MEW.
MEW?
Marlene Wallop.
Terry and Arthur are then told to unbelievably make their own way to the police station. Via Heathrow Airport, of course.
Just got time to get you to the airport.
Airport? What are you talking about? We're due down the Nick. And on the right side of the counter.
Oh, yes, he's right, boyo. What? But on the other hand, we can't let our Effendi here get done on a false passport claim, now can we?
False passport? Terry, what have you got me into?
Got you into... Look, own up, Arthur. We're better off without him. Abdul is nothing but trouble.
Aiding and abetting illegal immigrants, assisting a felony, or they wouldn't like that down at the Picton Street, Nick. And that DI is a right bastard.
Well, what you waiting for? Come on, off you go to the airport before the law puts a shout out on us.
There are other cars, Arthur.
The exterior shot for the airport is the Renaissance Hotel Bath Road, as used before.
Boarding now, sir.
The interior shots, though, as in the second episode, were filmed here in Russell Road at the TWA Heathrow check-in desk, which was there in 1979.
Thank you so much.
Well, gentlemen, what can I say?
No offense, so chic, but I like the sound of goodbye.
Well, goodbye then. And I hope you will...
Saeen then says thank you to Terry and Di by giving them cheques, which stay in their hands roughly 2 seconds.
Not to be offended, I wish you to accept these checks.
£1,000?
Listen, Mr. Sain,
You've saved my life.
Thank you, boys. Oh, yeah, they should just take care of the van and my driving ticket. Reckless, they said. And what a shady character you turned out to be. I think I consider going into business with you.
So that's a really good episode. I've marked it as 8.4 on the whiteboard of quality, which is just behind episode 3, the smaller they are. So that's our episode. If you liked it, I'd love you to subscribe. Please do. Please leave any comments or questions down below, and it will be great to hear from you. I will see you next time, which will be Series 1, Episode 5, The Bounty Hunter, which is another cracking episode. So over to Pat, Yorkie and Arthur to sing us out. See you next time.
Little lambs,